to another edition of the Folklore of New England. Today we're going to be talking about Emily's Bridge, also known as the Goldbrook Bridge or the Stowe Hollow Bridge, and this is located in Stowe, Vermont. A few key facts about this: as a covered bridge over the Gold Brook in Stowe, Vermont, hence Goldbrook Bridge, was built in 1844, making it possibly one of the oldest covered bridges still standing in the United States. It's also best known of Vermont's haunted bridges. Now, this little bridge here is very quaint on the outside, but is quite infamous for the ghost stories that happen. Well, let's take a deeper dive. What is the story behind Emily's Bridge? This is the legend of Emily. The legend revolves around Emily. No one knows her last name, but it does revolve around the ghost of a young woman named Emily, who's believed to haunt the historic bridge. There are many variations to Emily's story, but the most common variation is that Emily fell in love with a man her family disapproved of. So they decided to elope and meet at the bridge at midnight. Emily arrived at the appointed time, but her lover never showed up. Distraught, she hanged herself from the bridge in despair, and now her spirit waits, waiting for her lover, growing more and more angry and upset as time passes. Now let's have some facts. The true origins of Emily's Bridge ghost story legend. These are more recent. In the 1970s, a woman admitted that she fabricated the story to scare local kids. And the name Emily was created by said person. No actual state of Vermont or other records exist of an Emily dying at the bridge exist prior to 1970. The haunted reputation emerged around 1948 without Emily. There are other legends here. We do have many variations about Emily's death. One is suicide after being stood up by her lover. Another is an accident on the way to a wedding, getting murdered by a lover after getting pregnant. There's no historical evidence that backs any variation of this, and questions around Emily's method of suicide. Did she hang herself? Did she jump off? Now, the population of this legend spread quickly. It was included in ghost story books, websites, paranormal lore. It was popularized by Stowe tours, and the urban legend is now forever linked to the bridge. Now, while Emily likely never existed, her story transformed into perhaps the best-known Vermont legend. The bridge remains associated with her ghosts and unexplained occurrences, and Emily is now immortalized, whether she was real or not. There are several variations of Emily's story, including one that Emily was waiting for her boyfriend at the bridge, her parents disapproved of the relationship, yada yada, boyfriend never showed, and hanged herself. There's another variation that says she was thrown from her horse on the bridge and fell upon the rocks below. Now, whatever version of the story is true, or perhaps none of them are, people do report strange activity at the bridge, including footsteps, a girl screaming, scratch marks on vehicles passing across the bridge, and other stuff. So tourists and visitors to Emily's Bridge, they've experienced quite a wide variety of unexplained potential supernatural phenomena. Now, some of these are phantom lights, which are flashing white lights with no source, disembodied voices, such as a woman crying for help, a form of a girl seen near the bridge, the bodies of their cars getting scratched up, or even having scratches on their bodies, temperature fluctuations, and photos showing anomalies such as blurry shapes or figures in the background. And there are some notable encounters, such as phantom music heard under the bridge. Their photos failed to develop, they had blemishes on them, cars' paint jobs ruined by invisible claw marks, drivers experienced foggy windshields and handprints, horses avoiding the bridge and appearing with bloody gashes. There was also a group of teenagers that claimed to have a kind of terrifying experience. Apparently, they saw an apparition of a woman approach their parked car, jiggled the door handle, and dissipated after failing to get in the vehicle. There are also some stories that hats get blown away and other objects moved on calm days. And there's many logical explanations that may account for some of the events, but the continued reports of haunted occurrences keep Emily's Bridge shrouded in mystery, and the paranormal tale lives on, regardless of Emily's existence. Now, despite the prevalence of the legend and paranormal accounts, there's still some questions and skepticism around Emily's Bridge. There are no records verifying Emily was a real person who died at this bridge. Varying legends give conflicting details on Emily's origins. Some claim the actual death was of a young girl in a 1920s accident. Now, this raising doubts of the origin's haunted reputations. The bridge was dubbed haunted in 1948 without any specific Emily link. The Emily legend emerged in 1970 as a fabrication, and the possible real death moved to Emily's story later. There was also some skepticism around the paranormal claims. Logical explanations for some of this phenomena. There's environmental causes of the noises, tricks in light perception, the power of even suggestion. Like if I say, oh, hey, that bridge is haunted, and you've got that in your head, yeah, you might start to think that you're experiencing stuff. And there's also the desire to experience the supernatural, which can also taint your perceptions. And there are alternate theories behind the abnormal occurrences as well, such as the location is a natural window area, which means it's a thin area where spirits can come through, which makes it prone to unexplained events. Overactive imaginations, infrasound from the environment causing unease. It's an old bridge. It's gonna settle. It's gonna make noise. Electromagnetic fields disrupting perceptions. At the end, a definitive origin for this legend and inexplicable events still remains out of our reach. There is a spirited debate between true believers and skeptical researchers. However, the sensationalism around Emily's Bridge will likely feed both viewpoints for the foreseeable future, and the supernatural intrigue helps maintain the bridge's haunted reputation. Now, here's some known facts about the bridge today. It is still a popular tourist attraction and legendary part of Vermont folklore. Some key facts: it does remain open to vehicle traffic in Stowe, and it's visited frequently by paranormal investigators. It's included in ghost tours and haunted trails. It's a subject of books, documentaries, and websites. It's a photo hotspot for visitors inspired by the tales, and it's a very accessible attraction to the paranormal seekers. And the various legends and paranormal accounts have solidified the bridge's notoriety. There's a ghost of Emily central to intrigue, phantom phenomena to add allure, tragic love aspects to broaden appeal because everybody loves a sad ghost story, and dramatic stories passed down through generations. And the locals, they try to downplay the reputation, but the legend still persists, even though Historical Society is unable to find any definitive facts. There's continued reports of strange happenings. There's debates between the skeptics and believers, and legend is kept alive regardless of the origins. The fictional story of Emily that was created is now just embedded in Vermont culture, and the haunted story gives the aging bridge renewed vitality. The future seems to promise more eerie tales, ongoing investigation, curious visitors drawn by the supernatural allure. The town of Stowe has implemented an ordinance to keep people away from the bridge at night, just because of noise caused by would-be ghost hunters and kids looking to party and cause graffiti, which unfortunately I don't have any pictures, but the inside of the bridge is very graffiti covered. And I wish I had pictures, but I just don't. So that is the story of Emily's Bridge, and that is Vermont's most famous ghost story. Go ahead, like and subscribe if you like what you heard. I will be doing more. And like I said, I love the folklore stuff in this. I grew up in Vermont, so this is just a thrill for me to be able to do. So please like and subscribe. There will be more. I promise. Thanks. Have a great night.